Welcome back to Royalfamilyone, the home of truth, positivity and real storytelling about the modern royal family. This is the channel where Prince Harry, Duchess Meghan and Prince William are seen for who they truly are, inspiring leaders, loving parents and human beings who deserve dignity, respect and support. And today's episode is special because Prince Harry has done something absolutely brilliant, something the British tabloids cannot handle and the haters wish they could ignore. Prince Harry made a surprise appearance on The Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and let me tell you, this was comedy gold, charisma on full blast, and pure Harry being Harry. The timing alone deserves an award. While the leftover royals were hosting a stiff, dusty state banquet at Windsor Castle, Harry was on American late-night TV, glowing, relaxed, adored, and making millions laugh. You couldn't script a bigger contrast. Harry has become a favourite of American late-night hosts. And there's a reason. He's natural, he's charming, he's funny without even trying. Last year, he had that hilarious Haunted Maze segment with Jimmy Fallon, and before that, he gave one of the best interviews of his spare promotional tour on Colbert's show back in early 2023. Harry thrives in environments where he can be himself. Not stiff, not controlled, not silenced, not trapped behind palace gates or surrounded by people leaking stories against him. Just himself. And America absolutely loves him for it. So Harry pops up on The Late Show last night, not for a formal sit-down, not to promote a book, not to address drama, but to take part in a hilarious bit about Hallmark Christmas movies. If you've ever watched a Hallmark holiday film, you know the formula. There's always some handsome prince who ends up falling in love with a small-town girl during Christmas. So, what does Harry do? He leans right into the joke. He auditions, he plays along, he mocks the clichés, he turns the spotlight into a comedy stage, and the Late Show audience absolutely eats it up. He gets a standing ovation, loud, warm, long, because people genuinely like him. You cannot fake that. You cannot manufacture that with PR. That is real affection. Meanwhile, the British press wakes up and tries to twist the story, claiming Harry was booed. The same press that consistently lies about him, distorts everything he does, and pretends America hates him. Even though every time Harry steps foot on American soil, he gets applause, love and respect. Let's clear this up once and for all. The boos were for Donald Trump, not for Harry. Harry mocked the idea of Americans electing a king, referring to Trump, and the audience booed Trump, which is exactly how American studio audiences react to political jokes. But the tabloids, desperate for clicks, twisted it into Harry gets booed. The dishonesty is embarrassing at this point. Even kindergartners would do a better job reporting facts. And let's talk about that comedic timing. Harry delivers the line effortlessly, casually, not forced. He's just naturally funny. He's the kind of person who lights up a room without trying. That's why late-night shows love him. That's why interviewers enjoy talking to him. He's real, something the palace PR machine hasn't figured out how to replicate. Now, let's compare this with what was happening in Windsor at the exact same moment. On one side of the Atlantic, Harry laughing, joking, having fun, going viral and trending online. On the other, an awkward, performative banquet filled with overly staged photos, frozen smiles, and the same old tradition that the world has seen 100 times. When people say Harry made the right choice leaving, this is what they mean. He traded obligation for authenticity. He traded silence for freedom. He traded misery for joy. And the beauty is that Harry's joy does not diminish Prince William's importance. Haters try to pit the brothers against each other, but the truth is, both Harry and William are thriving in their own lanes. William is preparing to be king, and he's stepping up, modernizing the monarchy in his own quiet, strategic way. Harry is building a global humanitarian brand, redefining service outside the institution. There is room for both. What there is not room for is the toxic press trying to destroy one brother to elevate another. Royalfamilyone celebrates them all, positively, truthfully, and respectfully. Now, back to Harry's appearance. The Hallmark movie bit wasn't the only comedy gold. Harry also filmed a TikTok-style video with Stephen Colbert using audio from The Great British Baking Show, specifically the clip where Alison Hammond can't understand a contestant's accent. And the timing between Harry and Colbert, flawless. It shows that Harry isn't just comfortable. He's confident. He's playful. He's embracing the fun, the creativity, the spontaneity of American media. And honestly, he fits right in. Let's talk about the deeper meaning here. Because yes, it's funny. Yes, it's entertainment. But symbolically, it's powerful. For years, the palace tried to mould Harry into a silent, obedient, invisible spare. They tried to turn him into a shadow so he wouldn't outshine anyone. They underestimated him. They never realized that Harry shines not because he tries to, but because he's authentic. People are drawn to him because of who he is, not because of his title. This late show moment reminds the world that Harry didn't lose himself when he left. He found himself. He found his voice, his confidence, his freedom, and his happiness. Meghan played a huge part in that. She saw the real Harry, the fun Harry, the kind-hearted Harry that the world is now enjoying again. She encouraged him to step into his full personality, not the one the palace assigned him. And the world is better for it. And while we're here, let's address anyone trying to portray Meghan negatively. Stop. It's done. It's tired. It's transparent. She helped Harry evolve into the best version of himself, just as he helped to survive the brutality of the British media. They uplift each other. That's love. That's partnership. And that's why they're still thriving, no matter how many times tabloids try to resurrect old narratives. Harry isn't hiding. Meghan isn't running. William isn't threatened. The ones who should be worried are the people who built careers off, tearing them down. Because the world is waking up. The world is seeing the truth. And the world is choosing joy over propaganda. So, as we wrap up this episode, I want to speak directly to the amazing Royalfamilyone community. If you love seeing Harry free, funny, confident, thriving. If you want a platform that celebrates Meghan, uplifts Prince William, and shuts down lies. If you appreciate the effort, research, humour, positivity and time that goes into these episodes, make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on your notifications. It helps us grow, it helps us push back against misinformation, and it keeps positive royal content alive. And if you'd like to support this channel directly, if you'd like to help us continue producing high-quality content and defending the truth, tap that Super Thanks button. Every donation helps us stay strong, stay active, and keep bringing you the royal stories that matter. Thank you for being here. Thank you for supporting Harry, Meghan and William. And thank you for believing in positivity over negativity. This is Royalfamilyone, and we're just getting started.
Sharon is in London. Sharon, are you a Netflix subscriber? Are you going to be finding out how you're going to do your Christmas from Meghan this year?
Of course I will. I watch all her series, and she's working hard for her. She's working to support herself. She's not getting free money from the taxpayer and billions like all the others doing nothing.
Why should she? She's not living in this country.
As for you and all the others who hate this woman from the first day...
Don't hate her.
You do hate her, all of you, every
Calm down, Sharon. I don't hate her.
You've got nothing to say about her. Whatever she does to make a living, you all complain about her. You're all racist and horrible.
Oh, there you go. There's the truth.
Everything she wears, everything she does, all of you have to complain about her. You've never got anything good to say about her. So I love her. She's great, and I'll watch all her series, and I hope she gets many more series, and all these horrible people like that woman on the show today. They just have nothing good to say about this woman. Go and support all the other royals and give them all your taxpayer money, millions. They've got billions, and you're all still supporting them and giving them millions every year. All right, and this woman is trying to make a living, and all you've got to say every day is horrible things about
she sold out the Royal Family.
From the first day she comments, from the first day she was
not true.
Sharon, are you going to do
from the
craft?
first day you've all hated her because she's straight and she's not a white person. You don't do that to any of the other royals, so just shut up and leave the woman alone to make a living. You're making a living doing what you want to do. She's making a living. Nobody's giving her money. So just leave her alone. I'm sick of you people every single day.
Okay, Sharon, thank you for making those points. I'm going to give you a chance to come back there, Carol, because you just called me a racist.
You should just call me a racist. Yeah, but that's just so typical. Like, it's like if you criticise someone and they happen to have a skin that's black or brown, you have to be racist. You can't criticise them on the basis of what they do. I don't know why she's in love with somebody who actually has sold out the royal family, who has made the millions that she's talked about on the backs of the family and by hurting and talking and telling actually lies about it. She called the royals racist too, remember? Meghan called them racist, as did Harry. So if we're talking about racist accusations, there you go. But that was a rant. That's not sensible. That's someone who says, I love her and I hate all the rest of the royals.
That might be somebody that's expressing real discontent about the royal family.
Well, she's not expressing it in a very good way.
The way the royal family have been making their money over the years, which we have little choice over.
She might well be doing that, but she didn't do that there. She called me a racist and she was screaming and shouting, calling us horrible. That is not the way to make your argument.
Okay.
Today's episode of Sussex Chronicles dives straight into the heated moment that had the internet buzzing. A caller on the Storm Huntley show telling the panel exactly what millions of people have been thinking for years. A moment of truth. A moment of frustration spilling over. A moment where a regular member of the public finally said what the media refuses to admit, that Meghan Markle has been treated unfairly, relentlessly targeted, and shamelessly misrepresented, and people are tired of it. This wasn't a polished PR speech. This wasn't a carefully curated statement. This was a real person, fed up enough to call a national show and hold the panel accountable. And honestly, she said what she said. Today, I'll break down exactly why this moment is so important, how it exposes decades-old media patterns, what it reveals about the hostility toward Meghan, and what this entire outburst tells us about the growing divide between the public and the traditional monarchy-defending press. So, if you're ready for some truth, let's get into it. The conversation began innocently enough. Storm Huntley introduced a caller named Sharon from London. A regular viewer, an everyday woman who has watched Meghan's projects, followed her journey and seen all the noise and nonsense thrown at her. The topic? Meghan's Netflix holiday special. And instantly you could tell Sharon wasn't calling just to chat. This was years of frustration bubbling up. She said Meghan works hard, she supports herself, She doesn't take taxpayer money. She isn't funded by public finances like the rest of the royal family, and you could feel the frustration in her voice, because she was pointing out something many people know, but the tabloids go silent on. Meghan left the UK. She stepped back from royal duties. She declined public funding. She built her own career. She earns her own income. Yet she is still attacked daily by people who claim to hate taxpayer waste. Make it make sense. Sharon made it plain. Why shouldn't she work? She doesn't take public money. That was the truth. No spin, no exaggeration, just facts the media rarely acknowledge. Sharon then honed in on the real root of the problem, the never-ending negativity, the obsessive monitoring of Meghan, the commentary that criticises her no matter what she does, the way certain panellists go out of their way to portray her negatively. Sharon pointed out, everything she wears, everything she does, you complain. And she's right. Meghan breathes, headline. Meghan blinks, headline. Meghan smiles at a charity event. Well, actually, headline. There is a clear pattern. If Meghan works, she's attention-seeking. If she stays quiet, she's irrelevant. If she releases a project, she's cashing in. If she does nothing, she's lazy. It's a loop, a formula, a content mill designed to criticize her no matter what. Sharon called it out with the bluntness of someone who has had enough. Sharon didn't stop there. She pointed out something extremely important. The royal family receives millions in public funding. Meghan does not. Whether people agree or disagree with monarchy funding, that's a debate. But facts are facts. Meghan stepped away. She built her own business ventures. She produces her own content. She relies on no public money. She earns her own income. Yet somehow, she is treated worse than those fully funded by taxpayer budgets. The same media figures who never criticise lavish renovations, taxpayer-funded travel expensive events, security details, maintenance of multiple estates, suddenly develop deep concern when Meghan creates a holiday special, a podcast, or a children's book. Where is that energy when public funds are involved? Sharon asked exactly that. When Sharon challenged Carol Malone's track record of commentary on Meghan, things shifted. Because here's the thing, some media pundits have built entire careers on criticising Meghan. It's a cycle. Step 1, Meghan exists. Step 2, pundit complains. Step 3, Meghan responds or creates something. Step 4, pundit complains again. Step 5, repeat for profit. And when someone from the public points out that this criticism appears personal, excessive and relentless, suddenly the pundit becomes defensive. Suddenly they say, I'm just critiquing behaviour. But is it behaviour, or is it the person? Because you can critique actions, but consistency matters. Where is that same scrutiny when other royals do? Paid speeches, book deals, commercial partnerships, documentaries, interviews, podcasts, Netflix shows, brand collaborations, holiday specials, reality-style filming, children's books, major media deals. All of these have been done by members of the extended royal family. But who receives headlines for trying to profit? One person, and Sharon called that out directly. This exchange blew up for several reasons. 1, it exposed what millions already believe. People see the double standards. They see the imbalance. They see who is allowed to flourish and who is punished for existing. 2, it highlighted the growing disconnect between the public and traditional broadcasters. Ordinary viewers are no longer accepting one-sided commentary. 3, it proved that Meghan's supporters are no longer quiet. People are speaking up. Loudly. 4, It showed the emotional toll of years of negative coverage. This wasn't a random outburst. It was years of frustration distilled into 1 minute. After Sharon finished her passionate statement, Carol Malone responded by positioning herself as misunderstood, reframing Sharon's frustration as irrational, dismissing the caller's concerns, redirecting the focus toward Meghan, hurting the royal family. This is classic deflection. But Sharon wasn't talking about royal family politics. She wasn't analysing the monarchy. She was addressing the mistreatment, the obsessive coverage, the unfair commentary, the constant negativity. Sharon argued that Meghan is simply earning a living and being dragged for it. Carol responded by shifting the conversation to royal family dynamics, which wasn't the point. This matters because it shows how criticism toward Meghan gets justified through unrelated arguments. It proves some pundits refuse to acknowledge bias. It illustrates how genuine public concern is minimized and dismissed. This moment showed the gap between lived experience and media narrative. This entire exchange tells us several things about the Sussexes' position today. They have supporters, vocal, brave, and unafraid to challenge mainstream narratives.